What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about another SYNASTRY topic. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about some SYNASTRY aspects that reveal a strong spiritual connection when it comes to your SYNASTRY that you share with your partner in a relationship. Start with is a pretty powerful aspect to share with somebody in your SYNASTRY, and that is when you have your Sun conjuncting their Neptune. So when it comes to Neptune, this is the planet all about spirituality. It's also all about things like dreams. So with the Neptune of somebody meeting up with your Sun in a conjunction, the Sun being all about your identity, your core being, both these planets being in a conjunction can create that mystical kind of a connection between two people. Almost something that feels otherworldly about their bond also gets created, and it can also feel like they have this higher power kind of leading them or guiding them within this connection with each other. And the reason why it feels like a strong spiritual connection for them is that between the Sun person and the Neptune person here with this aspect, it can feel like they have this very deep, strong emotional resonance between each other. With this aspect, they're going to be open to embracing that strong feeling of there being a higher power that's also guiding them together within this connection. So they're going to feel things like being spiritually intertwined in their connection, and even things like feeling like this connection is a fated one that they're experiencing with each other. And even if, say, both or one of the partners are not so spiritually inclined, with this aspect, what it brings to a relationship between two people is, especially with the Neptune energy here, is an idealized kind of an energy where it can feel like the bond is also one that is almost empathic between the two of them. And the Neptune person here can actually have a lot of that feeling of being very drawn to the Sun person, and that can be based on a lot of them feeling inspired by the Sun person. And this connection is a very inspirational one between the Sun person and the Neptune person. But for the Neptune person, they may be very drawn to the Sun person for the energy they give off. They can feel that there is some sense of something purposeful to be had with the Sun person. They can feel that based on things like their values, their dreams, and their aspirations, but they can actually feel that there's a possibility of having what feels like the perfect match with the Sun person. And between the Sun person and the Neptune person, those values, aspirations, and even dreams that the Neptune person is that are making them feel drawn to the Sun person aren't necessarily just rooted in something spiritual, but they can be. And even if those dreams or aspirations and values that are kind of drawing to them to the Sun person aren't rooted in something spiritual, they're still going to have the potential to be able to encourage each other to go after their dreams. And even when it comes to having this aspect where it's the moon and it's the moon trining somebody's Neptune, they can feel like they have this spiritual bond with each other, and it can feel quite strong. And that's because when it comes to the moon is all about the emotions. And when it comes to having this in a harmonious aspect with Neptune, it's going to bring the sense of being able to understand somebody else on an emotional level, but also on a spiritual level as well. And with the moon, this also brings about the sense of an intuitive bond between each other, where there's the sense of being able to have a connection with each other, and it feels like there's this intuitive understanding of each other within their relationship. And while having the Sun conjuncting Neptune is going to bring about the sense of having this empathic understanding between the two of them, when it comes to having the moon in a harmonious aspect with Neptune, this is also going to bring about the sense of having a lot of empathy between the two of them, and also a lot of things like compassion between the two of them. And because of those kind of feelings being present in their relationship, is a sense of being able to understand what each other is feeling and where each other is coming from without them before they even say anything. With having the moon in a harmonious aspect to Neptune, this brings about that feeling of having what feels like peace and comfort in a connection with somebody. But when it comes to having this aspect, it can be a pretty rare connection to have with somebody. on an emotional level, it can bring about the sense of experiencing this very nurturing feeling of the emotional connection. They can actually feel very healing, as well as also contributing to them being able to feel the sense of spiritual growth when it comes to what this aspect is bringing to their relationship with each other. And because of what it's doing for the emotional connection, it brings about the sense of feeling like the connection is just meant to be for the moon person and the Neptune person. And another aspect that can be great for indicating of a strong spiritual connection with somebody when it comes to the synastry aspects is when Saturn is making a conjunction to their Neptune. Because Saturn is the planet all about structure, it's all about responsibility, and it's also all about being able to have that discipline. Bringing Saturn into a conjunction with somebody's Neptune does mean that the Saturn person is going to bring about a sense of structure to the Neptune person's dreams or spirituality in a way that can be very productive. Because when it comes to the planet of Saturn, it is more so rooted in reality, practicality, and Neptune is all about the dreams, the illusions. So bringing them together can be a very grounding experience when it comes to what Saturn brings to the Neptune. But when it comes to their relationship with this aspect, they can have a very grounding spiritual bond with each other as well. And it can be especially nice because it can also be what's leading to being able to bring spiritual dreams, ideas into reality, and adding that layer of practicality and grounding them in practical ways. In the positive of this aspect, the Saturn person here is going to help that Neptune person be able to get more organized, be able to also get more so organized when it comes to setting up things like deadlines, as well as even just being more so realistic in their goals surrounding their spiritual practices, or when it comes to having more structure when it comes to their spiritual practices and being able to approach them from a more so realistic approach and offer them realistic advice if they're open to it. And the Neptune person also is going to, in the positive, help the Saturn person be able to get out of a very rigid or a very inflexible or overly structured way of approaching things and be able to actually come into a space of embracing and tapping into their more creative side, and being able to also tap into their more imaginative side and being able to enhance their work in that way. So the Saturn person with this aspect does have the ability to be able to help the Neptune person realize the value in being able to bring their dreams into life in a more concrete way. And the Neptune person has the potential to help the Saturn person be more so open to being able to approach things from a more flexible, more imaginative, and even more creative approach. This can enhance their work, but it can also open them up to a new perspective in their approach to their spirituality, their spiritual practices. And especially if they're both spiritually inclined, this aspect can contribute to a lot of spiritual growth within their relationship with each other. It can even work quite well when it comes to both of them coming together for the sake of a spiritual purpose, where they could have this idea or this vision that is more so higher vision that they want to bring into the material world. Working together, they can do that. Because with this aspect, it's like they both ground their spiritual ideas in practical ways. Well, that does it for this video on some synastry aspects that can show a strong spiritual connection between two people in a relationship. And when it comes to these aspects, they can also be what makes a connection feels like it goes beyond just the physical or the emotional, but being able to connect on a soul level with somebody, or tapping into something that feels much deeper or feels much more profound, even kind of like a spiritually transformative connection with somebody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you found it helpful, and if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.